never to return. You cannot have the last moment come back to this moment at all, or to next moment. It's gone completely. It's moment, not knowing what is there, just the idea of it's there and I like it. I want to cling to it, not to detach from it at all. See? Only the idea of thinking about that which is seen, no understanding the truth, that it's not there anymore, no matter you like it or dislike it. You cannot find it anywhere in the world or any world at all. This is the truth or not. Just learn to understand the truth of each moment, which hasn't appeared yet, as it is, that it's completely gone. The next moment of seeing is not the past one at all. It's gone completely. Like seeing now is not seeing a moment ago, and that which is seen cannot be seen again. All gone. No matter you like to detach or attach, it's to that which is not known as it is yet. So just learn to understand. No expectation how much we can get from having understanding of that which is now appearing, or not at all. But learn about the truth, what is true in life. That's all.
How does love fit in then? Is love only clinging or attachment? And the fulfillment that we feel in the people that we love, isn't it possible to love them without clinging to them?
It's a thinking or understanding what is exactly appeared now. What is that actual reality which is seen and the moment of seeing? What is there? No idea yet. No idea about people or thing at all. But what is there? The truth of it. It's hidden very deeply. Never appear as it is because of the rapidity of changing from moment to moment all the time. All the time, very rapidly. So how can anyone know? Like we are watching the movie, it's going on and on and on. No idea of just a picture of just what is there. It's seen from moment to moment, and then there is thinking about shape and form and everything about it as people and things and cars and so on. But what is there? Only thinking. And there is sitting. And what is sitting? Is there anyone there who sits? Or it's just hardness or many, many realities arising together and then gone. After seeing the movie, we are thinking again about that or about anything else. But how come only thinking from what is seen, heard, and so on, all in life? Where's the I? Like I was born, if there is no absolute reality arising, can there be the idea of I was born or that person died? See? Only thinking, after seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, not understand the moment of seeing as it is, which is gone so rapidly. Nobody knows that at all without understanding the truth of it, what is there. For example, at this moment of seeing, what is seen? See? No understanding of the truth. That is the idea. What is seen as thing.
Why would we, I mean, it seems to me that I'd rather feel that attachment and I'd rather enjoy the movie around me than just be blank or just be imagining, oh, it's all going to pass. Because it feels to me that there's a reason why we are born into this movie, even if it's fleeting or gone. What's to be? I just don't understand the why. Why would I want to feel blank and empty?
There is seeing, and then it's you, right? who is watching the movie or is talking or was seeing that is thinking as well and so on, right? Like this moment, what is seen in truth, the absolute truth of that which is seen and the absolute truth of seeing, which is conditioned to see, only seeing. It cannot do anything else, just to be conditioned to arise and see. That's all. It cannot think about that which is seen as something at all. So, what is that which can be seen? See? Without seeing, can there be the idea that I see, that person sees, or a dog sees? Seeing is just seeing. Seeing cannot be hearing. It cannot be thinking, but no understanding of seeing. That's why there is the idea of I see when it's here, and the dog sees when it's there, and the fish sees, see? Many, many things, but seeing is only seeing. It's still be the moment of experiencing that which can be seen as it has been impinged on the eye. Anything which does not impinge on the eye cannot be seen at all, like what is there in the back. See? So what is seeing? Just a moment. No one at all. No dog, no cat, no eye. No one sees. Seeing just arises to see, and what is seen can be only that which can impinge on the eye base or the eye. Otherwise, they cannot be seeing at all. But at moment of seeing, no understanding of seeing that it's just a moment. There is the idea of I see. The whole life is there. But where is seeing yesterday? Can it be now? Never the same one at all. Different ones all the time, from moment to moment, never to return at all. And death, what is that? It's just like this moment, because everything's gone. So now what is seen is not there anymore when it's gone. So where is the I? Where is the permanent feeling? Even feeling changes, and no one can control it. No one can have it at will to be pleasant feeling all day and all time. Impossible. Actually, the truth is that there is no one who can, who would think that I can do, because there's no I. Whatever arises must be conditioned for its proper condition, which no one knows until the enlightenment of the person who just told us about the truth of everything here, now, whatever, whenever, never change at all. It's the absolute truth. What do you like now is gone completely if you don't think about that. And what is I? Who think, no, it's memory of that, which condition thinking about that, which is remembered. Is this not life from day to day? Seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking. You would say the five senses as at the mind, but actually the five senses is the extra or special or different kind of rupa, which the sound can impinge on it, the light can impinge on it, the taste can impinge on it. It's not the whole tongue, which is hard, but only that which is there. See, everything is so very, very just detailed, very short, very little, and gone completely all the time, unknowingly all the time. So what is the world if nothing arises at all? Can there be any world?
No.
See, so now we're talking about the world in the absolute sense, not the sea and the sky and the tree but just that which arises. If nothing arises, there wouldn't be anything, even the world. But when whatever arises, that is the world. So what is there in the world has conditions for its arising and then gone. No one knows. So the world is just moments of experiencing. If there are just trees and mountain and sea and rock and whatever, but no experiencing at all, can that be known as it is different ones? This is not true in one's life. So we just learn to understand what is there. And no one can change it. No one can make it arise because while we are talking, they're seeing all the time. How come? Who make it? Who condition the arising of seeing, arising and falling away unknowingly all the time? Because as soon as one fall asleep, nothing can appear. Where's the world? Where am I? And who am I? Nothing appear at all because of those seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking. So no one can stop the arising of the conditioned realities from moment to moment. And this is life. Keep on going. Uncontrollable. No expectation because now even this voice is conditioned and gone. See? Everything is like this. Where are you now? See? Without the idea. No I. Or is there I?
I feel pretty depressed. That's the.
And what is meant of and what is meant by the word detachment? Detached from ignorance, no understanding. What is on now? Hearing, smell, thinking, hardness, and everything now. Detached from not understanding it as no self. It's there. Hardness cannot be anyone's body. It's only that which can appear only when there is touching. So actually, where are you now? Is there you now?
You have a holograph where it's this isn't me, but there's some reason for there's some reality to this consciousness.
And this is letting go the wrong understanding of taking that for self for you, like hardness, not my body anymore. It's only the reality which is hard, which is conditioned. Later on, when we understand better and better, we can understand the conditions for each moment which appears as something, as before, as only a reality, different ones, by different conditions, like seeing and hearing, and thinking, and liking, and disliking, everything. Just in a moment when it's there, when it's there. But when it's not there, it's completely gone, never to return at all.
Thank you. I'm going to let somebody else ask a question. I'm going to think about it.
I think we cling to things which we like, but then if we have unpleasant feeling, we don't want to cling to that, but we can't choose.
Okay, that which is clung, gone completely. So there are conditions for clinging again to that which is gone. Is that true? No more, but that is clinging to that because thinking that it's there all the time. And when we use the term dislike, it's not as pleasant as before because it's completely good, no matter what.
I don't think it's very pleasant if the whole point is just to try to figure out that you're not here.
Not thinking, but understanding the
I'd rather
truth.
be pleasantly wrong than unpleasantly correct. But
I think John's saying you can't choose that things arise, that you can, life, the conditions happen naturally, and we can't choose because it's all conditioned by our conditioned.
But we can choose how we are seeing it. We can choose to correct the understanding we're learning. We can choose to apply that. We can't choose the conditions arising, but we can choose how we're going to approach it.
Can you? If you're unhappy, can you turn on happiness?
Yeah. So in a way, you can change your focus a little bit, or you can turn to gratitude, or you can.
But at the moment of unhappiness.
Or even like if you choose to believe in okay, well, that person was an illusion or whatever this is, maybe that would make you feel better. You can choose to think that, or you can choose not to think that, or you can choose to, or it's like when you're telling a sad story and then and you're crying and then somebody says, wait, not right now, tell me in 5 minutes. You're like, okay. And you can kind of stop and then you tell them in 5 minutes. But I don't know. I think somebody else should talk, but I'm not sure I'm understanding any of this. It's still, I keep coming back to the why of it.
So why you should feel detached? That's your question.
Why go down this path if it's just to? I don't understand and I don't want it because I respect all of you and I understand what you're.
You don't understand
why? What is it we're trying to achieve? But I don't want to be a downer, so I just let somebody else talk.
Did you understand? So I think she's asking, why do we want to have understanding?
It doesn't mean that anyone can be told to understand or not, but it's one's accumulation. Because if this person just doesn't see the other better than the truth to be understood, but the other thing that is useless at all, because one day will die, everyone dies. So just be pleasant and keep on happy life all the time. But for someone, life is as short, it can come in any time, now or this evening or a year ahead. We don't know. No one can tell them what is the best thing in one's life. Well, what enjoyment one has got in this life completely gone. Even yesterday, pleasantness, all kind of pleasure there. Where are they? Just gone. Even the idea that I can change just a little. But what is the I if it's not the thinking with the idea of I? For someone, they can say that I cannot change, but the other would say I can change. But what is the I?
I don't know. It's consciousness. It's I don't know. I have no problem with understanding that this person right here, this I, the conscious I, is fleeting, but I believe in a bigger consciousness behind it, whether that has my eye or a different eye. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. But,
Well, okay, we just talk about right now. Where's the I and what is the I right now?
the I is the person who has this story that I am, I think.
So is the seeing now?
Is there what? Sorry?
Seeing, hearing. Is the
Well,
seeing now?
I can. If I were
Okay, so
an impaired,
seeing is there, but it's I see for someone or for everyone who doesn't know what seeing is yet. If there are no conditions for seeing to arise, not only one condition, many conditions too, but we don't know yet. Because seeing is there. Who can understand that? That actually, when there is no seeing, there's no I see. When there's no hearing, there's no I hear. When there's no thinking, there is no I. When there's no that which you take for I, there cannot be I. See? So it has to be something which
like Helen
experiences.
Keller she could not see, she could not hear, she could make sounds, and later she did learn to speak. But there certainly was a Helen Keller.
The tree cannot see, the tree cannot hear, the tree cannot think. So what is it different from the moment that when there's I without seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking? The tree cannot do that. But you said that when there is no seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, there is I who does not see, who does not hear. So what is that which is the I, which is different from the tree? Because the tree cannot see.
Trees are conscious. I think trees and everything, there's consciousness in everything.
So there must be the reality which can experience something of a thing or a reality or that which is seen or heard. Is that right? Otherwise, that cannot be known at all. That it's there, just like this. The sound is different because of that which can know or experience the differences of that and the other. See? There must be the reality which can experience. So something can be known. Otherwise, there's no world at all. So actually, is that right?
Yes.
That this is the difference between the tree, because the tree just is hard. And when we taste, it can be some taste. And when it smells something, we can say different smell. Even of the tree, smell is smell, no matter where and when and what. And see, to see only. It cannot do anything at all. So thinking, just think, but they are all the realities which can experience a thing or reality or whatever is experienced, no matter its color or sound or smell and the others. So this is the difference between what we take for the world, no matter this world or any world at all, that there are two kinds of different realities. One cannot experience anything at all, but the other arises and experience. It cannot be hard or soft or smelled or anything at all, but it's that which just arise and see, no shape, no form at all. At moment of seeing is different from that which is seen for sure, right? At moment of hearing is different from sound. Sound cannot hear, but hearing hears, no matter what sound is there. Just that very sound, only that sound. At a moment of seeing, it can hear only just one sound at a time. While we are talking, so many sounds is experienced one by one, not all together. But the experiences arises and falls away so very rapidly. Even that which cannot experience also arises and falls away so rapidly as well. But they are different kinds. So whatever you're thinking about, They must be one of the two. For example, taste cannot experience. So it's that kind, that category of reality which cannot experience. But feeling, remembering, thinking, liking, disliking, whatever in one day, that which experiences have many different uh, category or characteristic. And without no understanding, they all be taken for I all the time from birth to death. And I for the other. You take that person take the other for some people, but for themselves, it's I who see, who hear, who think, who like. See, but where are all these realities just appear and disappears all the time by conditions because no one can make it arise. When you say that I can do, I can change, impossible because whatever appears gone completely before anyone can do anything to it at all. It's not true in one's life or today or now. A moment ago is gone. This sound is different from the previous one.
If you could control every moment, why would you ever be sad?
I never thought I could control every moment.
So I think we're more reactionary in terms of our experiencing. We're more conditioned than we tend to think, no?
No argument. I mean, I don't know why I don't have any argument with that.
Is the reality which cannot understand real? At moment of not understanding, it's different from moment of understanding, different realities. Right?
So, but I don't know. I just don't see what we're trying to
Yeah. When there's no right understanding, one cannot understand what is meant by ignorance and or not understanding at all. Because they are opposite. So whatever is real, no matter you call it what. You can change the word, but you cannot change the characteristic of whatever is conditioned to arise at all. Like hatred, at moment when it's there, no one can change it to be pleasant or like.
It's a bird or something. Probably a bird at John's house. Yeah. Bob, do you have any questions? Your mic's
Not
off.
now. No, not tonight.
So, Carl, are you still depressed?
Yeah, I'm just trying to find where I am. It's not, I mean, some of this is quite familiar and some of it is, I still don't get the detachment. So I don't understand what we're talking about really. So,
I have
We're
that same
talking
problem.
about what is there now, any moment, every moment.
I mean, so are you saying, I don't get what we're trying to do? Is it just, are you trying to, I understand all that I think the gist of what you're saying, and that's familiar. And so what, if we're all just going to die anyway, what's the point of sitting here trying to be detached?
No.
That would be true.
Even you want to detach, it's impossible.
became very depressed, and as they attempted to figure that out. And I just
We just talk about what is real now. Depression is depression. Being depressed is being depressed in that very moment only, not the moment
well,
of seeing, not the moment of hearing, not the moment
trying
of thinking. Very short, it's gone completely, uncontrollable, no matter you like it to stay or not.
but they were depressed over trying to figure out the kinds of things you're saying. They weren't depressed about life. They were depressed because they felt it was correct to be detached and to see the emptiness of emptiness, and to and then they checked out of life.
But I
And now
think that you just want to detach from unpleasant feeling, like, right?
no, they just detached from life because they were trying to do what the Buddha said, and so they
But if
just
you,
felt
yeah,
better.
but if you don't know yet what life is, it's only thinking about detachment. It's a kind of being attached again and again and again for detachment to arise. But it's impossible because it's a matter of wrong understanding to be detached from clinging at all. Because it still sees something as I like this. As soon as I got it, I I am pleased. See, attachment again. So if there is no understanding, certainly, clearly about what is detachment, what is it? If no conditions for it arising, can it arise? Can detachment, can depression or being depressed arise? Impossible.
Well, it may be impossible, but they certainly felt it.
Because it's there without understanding. So not understanding is a moment, it's a reality, and we used to take it for ignorance. See, not understanding or whatever you call it, but it cannot understand. But at moment of hearing the truth, it does not stay. It's gone because at moment of seeing, it's not being depressed. It's just experience an object. And when the object is pleasant, to be depressed cannot arise at that very moment. But attachment is there by conditions. Very, very, very short, cannot be known yet. But the truth is there. That's why we learn to understand what is the real or the absolute truth of everything, which is now appearing. The truth is that even it appears like it does not arise and fall away at all, but the truth is that it's conditioned to arise and disappear in split seconds, continued by other realities so very rapidly that nobody can understand the change, the arising and falling away from one to one. Like right now, there's hearing and there's seeing as well. It seems like they are together, but they cannot be the same thing, so they cannot arise together because they experience different things, different reality. So what is real is reality arising and falling away by conditions. Yesterday was hatred, today there's life, or just in a day, so many things arising and falling away. So the truth is that whatever you like is gone. Whatever you dislike is gone. Nothing can stay. So even the idea of life is the moment of experiencing a reality, but without understanding, and you take it for life, and it's gone each moment. It's like death, temporarily death, all the time, never to return. As soon as there's hearing about this, can there be thinking over it, whether it's true or not? Little by little, to understand the truth of life, which exists in just a moment, from moment to moment. until the end of death, but not the end of life. It keeps on going because of there are still conditions for its arising until final death. No more. Would you like to detach from life, from this moment, from hearing, from seeing, from thinking? Impossible as long as there are conditions for its arising. Never stop, non-stop, until the end of conditions. No more conditions for anything to arise. That's the end of the world.
I think if one can see or understand each reality as they arise, it's very liberating. It can be very liberating and freeing that one can see a reality that arises and falls away. It's not depressing. It's liberating. I mean,
But
it just happens.
I don't find it depressing that it comes and goes. I don't find that depressing. What I find depressing is to try to constantly think about that. I just would
But
rather.
you don't.
No, the goal isn't to think about it all the time. It's to understand the moment and the nature of our world and how we experience it in a more granular way. Because that is the way we know the world. We only know the world through hearing, seeing, tasting, touching, and stores doors. So that is the only way to know the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that helps.
Bears thinking about.
So then what do you do? Like when you, so it's really just a way to
Well, I think that when you study anything, you read the theory, but when we look at our moment-to-moment consciousness, it's happening so quickly, right? And we tend to generalize at what's happening. We don't appreciate the many things that are going on and why they arise and what is the conditions and what is that right, John? That
yeah.
I think sometimes it's very hard to understand that you can't see and hear at the same thing. Only one teacher arises at a time. Even though it seems that you can see and hear and at the same time, you can't. And I think sometimes that's very hard for people to appreciate or to understand. One moment.
So, John, why is it useful to know many moments are arising, many moments of chitta are arising all the time?
is it real? Is it true? Shouldn't we understand the truth of it or just leave it? No matter there can be understanding of it or not. But for those who can understand, what is the most interesting in this world, this moment, is to understand what is it now, what is there now. To really understand the truth. The truth is the truth, absolute truth. Nobody can change at all. For example, when there is no thinking of anything, can anyone make it arise to think of this or that? To like to know, or it's not necessary to know, or it's useless to know, or it's so useful to understand. See, no one can make it arise. It depends on conditions. So those who are not interested in understanding, they just want to not knowing anything at all, just live as they like. It's different from the person who begin to see the value of living with developing understanding the truth of each moment, because it's the cause of suffering or whatever is not pleasant or pleasant in life. Nobody can change. So life is so short, just a moment. Live in a moment, life in a moment, and then everything is gone. So it can be any moment without understanding or with understanding. That's the only difference. Anyone who see the value of what condition such unpleasant or pleasant thing, such life and life, different life, there must be conditions. And when there is understanding, right understanding, condition the right way of thinking, right way of living, right way of understanding. And anyone who doesn't see the value of this will letting go the understanding of this moment. We used to think about the goodness and the evil, but what is there? What is it? Without right understanding, can there be the understanding of the truth, whether one is so bad and the other is so good? And without understanding, one follows the evil or the wrong way of life. And we used to think of the world as people and things, but the world is this moment.
I think it's a little bit about like when we live in this world, we don't think about molecules or atoms or the elements of our world, but that is really what makes up everything around us, right? Anything, everything is molecules and atoms, etc. So we can live just fine and sit in chairs and look at computers and not need any of that information. But if we really want to understand,
The question is, what is the value of
yeah,
understanding?
so what is the value
Why
of
do we want to
understanding?
do molecules and atoms?
Yeah. And so I guess my thought is that understanding the how consciousness works, it gives us a better understanding of the world we live in and ourselves. And that's it's a
That's the value, right?
that's the value.
Mhm.
What's that?
The question is, why do we want to study atoms and molecules?
Beverly says, who wants to study atoms and molecules?
A lot of people.
Anything can be object of attachment. But do you think that those who don't know anything about this can live happily?
Yes, I do. I'm not saying it's not good to understand it, but I do think we can live happily without understanding.
To understand everything, but not understand what you take for life or my life.
That's true.
But when you cling to something, everything is impermanent. Everything will, people and animals and life will end. Our things will break. You know, nothing is permanent really in our world. And I don't think that that impermanence is necessarily a positive.
Not necessarily negative either.
I don't know. It just,
Well, if you cling to something, it or if you have those attachments, it can bring you joy, right? I mean, Carla, I think you were talking about that, right? Like if you have those relationships, that love, there's joy in those moments, but then that also will create pain in the end because of that attachment.
You don't want to just sit around and say, well, I'm not going to cling to it because one day it's going to hurt me, because otherwise when it's gone. So just live in the moment and enjoy. And
but then
the nature of all of the sheep does, or all the things, it seems like the purpose of it is it's designed to attach with love. We're designed to have families and to take care of each other, and we're designed to have a home and love that home. And yes, it's going to go away, but it just seems like, so it sounds to me like what you're talking about is deconstructing what we're designed to do so we can understand it. But I guess I think that, and that's good. And I realize I am only at the very beginning of hearing what you have to say. But I also just wonder, it feels like just by the very nature of birth and mothers caring for a baby, that it's all about attachment. So on the one hand, you could break it down and say, yes, in the moment, I'm going to let whatever it is that this is. But on the other hand, I have to say that life itself seems, just by its very nature, to want us to believe the story for a reason, for the short time that we're here.
I don't know whether you can hear me or not.
Oh, hi, Ellen.
Oh, hi. Al invited me to join this. Hi. I'm on the west coast of Canada right now. I was just thinking about, the attachment and the happiness. And I think, well, one is feeling quite happy and attached. One is unaware of, because one is so attached to feeling happy and to what's around them, you're completely unaware of what sort of the basis and the truth of life is. However, once it changes and there's a lot of unhappiness, one can wonder why. Why this? Why me? Why now? And I find that's where the understanding of causation, the understanding that in Buddhism can really help, because if something happens and one is very unhappy, the tendency is to blame other people or blame yourself. And really, there are no other people or selves to blame. So I find if understanding it from the perspective of causation, cause and result, is very useful. And if you're going to understand that, you're going to learn a lot about ignorance that arises for all of us almost all of the time. And the ignorance is what leads to the attachment and to the dosa is the word in Pali, but it doesn't help, to the anger, the unhappiness, anything like that. And I don't know whether that's making any sense or resonating at all.
I don't know. I didn't really ever want to just be the one. I'm just here listening, and I've had a long life, studied different realities and different philosophies, and so I don't want to be the one where everybody's trying to talk to me about. I don't really have a huge question. That was my question for the start. I asked it, and I've gotten answers. But other people should go now.
And you're on the hot seat. But
yeah, I don't even feel like I have that pressing a question. I just had a question, and now I don't mean to put anyone in a position of defending anything, or no. I'm just here listening, and but I'm sure other people.
I think the goal is to understand the teachings and why to study the teachings, because it's not a matter of being right or wrong. And believe me, you are not unusual in terms of your approach to, why study Dhamma,
what is the value?
What's the motivation? What's the value? And this question has only been asked 5,000 times, 5,000s of times
Yeah.
By other people who have studied with John and other people, and Anne, for example. So you seeded what was, is a very
Wide.
very common view of our world as we know it.
Well, I
Before
haven't
studying,
shared my view of the world, but I've shared just a response to Buddhism.
right? But I think it's more universal than that. But I think if you can't be happy all the time, and I think that I don't know anybody that can do that, then I think there's value in understanding the world, maybe, as the Buddha taught.
Well, obviously you do, otherwise you wouldn't study. I mean,
What's the motivation too of studying?
If it does it make you happy? Does it make you? I mean, does it help you feel? I guess. No, I don't want this to be about me and everybody. I just would rather listen to other people have a question. So I feel like I've listened and everybody's given me their answer, and I'll think about that.
Anne, it's good to hear your voice. Did you hear me, Anne?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
muted. We don't want you to feel you are in the hot seat either, but it's sometimes good to have people's questions to learn from.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If there are no questions, if it's harder to discuss. I think the answers to these things are always valuable for anyone, everyone.
I think it's such a different approach to understanding our world, our daily life than we're used to in the West.
Maeve actually said something about that on another discussion recently, how learning about the Dhamma, well, learning to understand, learning about is maybe different, but learning to understand the teachings of the Buddha is very different from learning anything else. The sort of the conventional Western learning model does not apply here. It's a matter of hearing and considering listening and then considering what it is you have heard. And it's a very, very slow process. There's no formulaic way of doing it. And there's no sort of quick way of doing it. Understanding what the Buddha taught through listening and considering and asking questions is the only way to do it. And in the end, it needs to be your understanding from having listened and considered. And the dialogue, the asking of questions, is very, very important. Because one can hear a lot of things and take it in and yet have misunderstood or not understood, or just not really gotten it. And I think misunderstanding would be the worst of that. But it is slow and it will take a while, and the journey is worth it.
I don't know. I feel like I've been studying it for 30 years. But different
Only.
It's not that. There's so many different ways. One of the good things is in our world now is we're so exposed to different ways of thinking, and I don't know, as a multiculturalist, I don't want to be the one here that everybody's talking to. I don't.
Okay.
It's not why I'm here. I had a question and I'm going to be thinking about it. So other people need to ask their questions, and I'm not feeling very comfortable with it because everyone's looking at me. I studied Buddhism in college. I've studied it from lots of different years, different angles, and all I had was still this basic question about detachment. That's all of it. And I don't. But maybe if nobody else has any questions, then maybe that's it.
Marisa?
I would think that the study in university, I know the university here, the University of British Columbia, has a whole, a number of courses in Buddhism, and I don't know which department it comes from, maybe Asian studies, but I think learning about, and you may have discovered this. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Carla.
Carla, you know, in your studies and explorations, you may have come across this or found it out that what one studies sort of through books and through courses is not. It can be the book knowledge, basically learning a number of sort of facts and an interesting story about Buddhism. But my understanding from talking to the people at the university here is that it doesn't lead to real understanding of what of the truth that the Buddha taught. It might lead one.
I haven't given you a complete scenario of myself or anything else, but of course. But again, I don't want to be the one that everybody's talking to about Buddhism. I'm not here to be the student of everybody. I just had a question, but I need to get going now. So I want to say thank you so much, and I really appreciate the time. And I'm going to let the rest of you have your.
Thank you, Carla.
Thank you. I think your question, you know, people's questions, sometimes they feel on the hot seat, but we all learn so much from thinking and hearing John's answers and things like that. It. So this is.
Yeah.
Thank you for starting it.
Yeah. Good night. I'll let you, the rest of you talk.
Good night. Nice to talk to you.
So I think she felt a little threatened by.
Well, not uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable, yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, that was clear. How many are on the discussion now?
9.
Nine people, but there's 4 sitting here in New Hampshire.
I asked all the questions last week, so it's somebody else's turn.
Well, so Marisa?
What?
Okay, who's the other 9?
Who is Apple's iPad? I know Trin. And there's Tirapon. Did anybody else have a question? Anybody else have a question for John?
Kun Tom, this morning class are for you. So so feel free. We are just listening in.
Apple is one of our friend in the group, line group, and she lives in LA. Apple, would you like to introduce yourself a bit? Yes.
Your mic is off.
You have to turn on your microphone, Apple.
Yeah.
Ah,
Okay, Mr. Tom, you just mentioned me. Yeah, this is my face, and I live in California, Los Angeles. It's very interesting for this class, and sis L invite me to this class. I just listened at the beginning. Very nice. Yeah. Thank you to invite me.
oh, you're welcome. Do you have any questions for Ajahn?
No, I have. I've been talked to Ajahn so many times. Yeah, I just get a lot from Ajahn, Chan Ajahn. It's very grateful and then very helpful for, for the everyday, for life. Not just. I understood at beginning, have to be separate from the lifestyle, anything. Is Dhamma is a lifestyle. You see and you attach everything, every minute, but most of people, they not, study the Buddha. They just leave it. Doesn't have a value. Doesn't see the value of the I attached the what you call is everything you see, everything you hear, it just let it go. But that one, when I learn to Tanajan, everything important, everything you see, everything you hear, you can turn to be the good thing. I have to take time to learn the technical term for the English, but it's if you not come study, you just let it go, and just need and just grab everything you want. It's like you have. It means at the Thanajan is mentioned is you don't have, just all Dhamma. That the keyword. That the keyword you have to keep for me to remind you all the time. If you we don't have just all Dhamma. Just if panya, I don't know what you call that one. It's like you understand a little bit by little bit. You cannot have you listen today, and Thanajan explain everything today. You kindly understand, but you not understand. It have to be a little bit, step by step. You cannot. That the one I learned from Thanajan a lot. Yeah. That's why just a breakout for me. I just beginner too. But I very interesting. What Thanajan try hard to tell us. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Tom. Nice to talk to you, and nice to know everybody. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's 10 o'clock at night here. So maybe we should stop for tonight.
Thank you very much, Ajahn.
Ajahn, khop kun mak. Thank you.
Thank you, Elle.
Thank you, Elle.
Thank you,
And
Ajahn.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ajahn.
everybody.
We'll see you next
กับ
time.
ข้าวท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ
ขอบ
ข
คุ
อบ
ณ
คุณ
มาก
มาก
ค่ะ
มากครับ
Very good, Mr. Tom. You don't have an accent anymore. You speak like a Thai people.
ขอบคุณมากครับ
ขอบคุณ
พยายาม
Mr. Robert, Elsa, and everybody.
Apple, Kun Tom and Kun Ann speak fluent Thai. พูดไทยได้
Okay, คุณแอนอย่า
ค่ะ พูดภาษาไทยได้ค่ะ
โอ้ยเก่งจังเลยค่ะ
ค่ะ
We arrange next time.
น้องตรีน
ค่ะ
แล้ว Mr. Robert, you can speak Thai a little bit?
Oh no, he can't.
ขอบคุณครับ
Not one, not even a bit.
No, just one word today. crop kun crop.
Krap pum ka.
Yeah, it means thank you.
What does that mean? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
My daughter,
Robert.
Maurice,
Yeah.
he was a
เกลือใช่ไหมคะ
exchange student in Thailand.
Oh,
จำไม่ได้
ชื่ออะไรนะคะ What's your name?
Marisa.
Marisa. Very nice name.
Oh,
Marisa.
Thai name.
Thai name. How old are you?
How old are you?
37 ปี
37 ปี
ค่ะ
Oh, 37 is older than my daughter. My daughter 34.
Mhm.
That's L.
Right.
That's
Robert.
never-
Yeah. I was going to say Robert had some good questions last time.
Robert goes by Bob. He doesn't
Bob.
answer to Robert. His name. He
Right.
goes by
I'm not
Bob.
sure how it ended up with
Bob.
Robert on there, but
Okay, sorry,
I'm
Bob.
Bob.
Do you have any
Nope.
more questions or anything
No.
following up?
I kind of burned out. I'm tired too. I think it's
Yeah, it's
about
late, I
bedtime for
know.
me.
Yeah, I know it's late there.
Yep. Yeah,
What
that's-
time is over there? Is LA is California
Quarter
7
after-
o'clock?
Quarter
7
after
to
10. Oh,
9. Or 10. Yeah. It's
Mm.
quite like yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
3 hour different from California.
Yeah.
Because you
Okay.
are east side and we are west. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You're in LA, you're the same as Vancouver.
Oh, yeah. Same, yeah, right. Vancouver.
Right.
There's คุณกอบเกลือ in the room คุณกอบเกลือมาจากไหนคะอยู่เมืองไทยหรืออยู่ที่ต่างประเทศคะ
She says,
กรอบเกลือไหนคะ
เกลือ
เกลือ GUA ค่ะเกลือกอบเกลือน่าจะ
GUEA เหรอคะอ๋อ
เห็นไหมคะ
อืม
ขวามือสวัสดีค่ะ
Yeah.
โอเค
She just I think she just away from the phone from the iPhone.
Oh, from the computer, probably. Just the picture.
Yeah, she just
Huh?
away from the computer. Yeah.
Okay, Tom, so we set the time next time unless you want to
Okay.
talk a little bit more, but otherwise we set another time. All right?
Okay.
Yeah.
ดีมาก Thank you.
Oh,
ขอบ
yeah.
คุณมาก
Okay ค่ะ Thank you ค่ะ Bye bye.
Okay.
Good. Thank you, Trin. Thank you, Al.
ขอบคุณค่ะ
ขอบคุ
Mr.
ณ
Rob
ค่ะ
Thank you. What?
I'm afraid.
Try again. ขอบคุณครับ
Pum kra.
Very good.
Yay.
Thank you.
Good job.
Have a good
Perfect
night.
time.
Have a good night,
Good night.
everybody. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.